brought my flag shirt. So, I am famous. There was a show back in the 80s called Matt Houston. If you don't remember what it is, it's okay, nobody else does either. They had to take it off the air in 1985, right? Because the sequel came out. Wink. I'm the sequel, right? So you can actually buy all 3 seasons now on DVD. Stars Lee Horsley as a wealthy mustachioed Texas oil man who works as a private investigator. Lee Horsley? Who is that? Mustachioed? That's a fun word. All right, I'll have some of that. Except I don't trust people with mustaches. Never mind the fact that my dad has a mustache, right? So this show actually has a lot of good reviews, which is surprising. But I did find one bad review on there. It happens to be somebody from another country. They basically said, you know, I can't get behind all these positive reviews. This was boring and pretentious. And so it makes me think, the show is based in Texas, and you know, all these good reviews from just Texans, and you know, this one bad review, they just labeled this guy as, you know, from another country because he's not from Texas. So you know, I asked my parents if they named me after this TV show, and they claimed that they didn't. I don't really trust them because, you know, again, my dad does have a mustache. It doesn't stop there though. My sister, she married into the Bond family, and she named her son James Bond. If that's not enough for you, he was born on the 007th day of the month. So Matt Houston is actually a TV show that's similar to Magnum PI with Tom Selleck, if you remember that show. It's actually a good show.
Great mustache.
Right? Great mustache. So the difference between the two shows, Magnum PI went for 8 seasons, and it was actually cool. Right? The only thing that Lee Horsley has in common with Tom Selleck is the mustache. And so, you know, can you imagine a conversation with these two mustaches? You know, Lee Horsley, well, Mr. Selleck, I must ask you a question. Perhaps I'll shave it for later. Hilarious, Mr. Horsley. Reminds me of the cow that couldn't grow his facial hair. He was in need of a moustache. Ridiculous, right? So Houston is my last name. And if any of you have watched the movie Apollo 13, since it came out in 1995, you remember the line, Houston, we have a problem. I've been hearing that joke for nearly 30 years now. It doesn't get old. You know, everyone's tried it on me. Even, you know, in school, from the substitute teacher. Going through the attendance roster, Hoskins, Brian, here. Hoskew, Brandon, here. Houston, Matthew, Houston, we have a problem. You know, first off, you're reading these names like a weirdo. My first name is not Houston. You're not funny. Second of all, you're a substitute teacher. You don't even have a real job, okay? A little too comfortable up there sitting at that desk. I lived out in Spain for a little while, and I thought I was going to get away from this out there, but then I heard this now in Spanish. It's ridiculous. Houston, tenemos un problema. They couldn't even get my name right. Right? Houston, tenemos un problema. Oye, tío, que me cago en tus muertos. Hey, buddy, I shit on your dead people. That's all I got. Thanks.